Do you think your life is just the result of the present? Think again. What if your fears, challenges, and even unexplained talents were echoes of who you once were? The impact of past lives on your present is deeper than you realize, and it's shaping your reality right now. This video isn't just another theory. It's a journey to understand why your soul carries marks you didn't even know existed. Want to uncover what's behind your experiences? Then stay with me and dive into this hidden truth. The impact of past lives on your present might be the key you've been looking for. What happens to our soul after we leave this world? Are we prisoners of endless cycles of reincarnation? Or is there a deeper truth, hidden in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered? Ever since humanity first looked up at the starry sky and questioned its place in the universe, these questions have echoed in our hearts. It doesn't matter where you come from or what you believe. At some point, all of us have reflected on the mystery of life after death. While religions and philosophies around the world offer their own answers, there's an ancient wisdom that goes beyond dogma and gives us a fresh perspective. The Hermetic laws, universal principles that govern all creation, not only offer explanations, but also practical tools to understand our spiritual journey. They show us that the soul isn't some isolated entity, lost in a sea of uncertainty, but a conscious part of a greater whole, navigating cycles of learning and evolution. Imagine that just like you remember events from your childhood, your soul carries records of experiences that go beyond this life. These records aren't just old stories. They shape who you are today, influencing your fears, talents, and even the challenges you face. What if you could access those memories? What if you knew how to use them to transform your reality right now? Today, we're going to explore how the Hermetic laws unravel the mysteries of the soul and the afterlife, revealing not just the impact of past lives on your current existence, but also how you can apply this knowledge to evolve spiritually in your daily life. This video isn't just a reflection on what happens after death. It's an invitation for you to understand your true nature and take conscious control of your journey. So, if you're searching for answers, if you feel like there's something more beyond what the eyes can see and what the material world can offer, stay with me until the end of this video. Together, we're going to discover how to apply this ancient wisdom to transform not only your view of the afterlife, but also how you live each moment in the present. Since ancient times, philosophers, alchemists, and spiritual seekers have asked themselves, is there a universal truth that governs everything we see and feel? According to Hermeticism, the answer is a resounding yes. This ancient wisdom is attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a legendary figure who merged the knowledge of ancient Egypt and Greece, and whose teachings are compiled in a text called the Kybalion. It's there that we find the 7 Hermetic principles, guidelines that not only explain how the universe works, but also how our soul moves and evolves through lifetimes. But why are these laws so important for understanding what happens to the soul after death? Simple. They're like a map of the invisible territory that connects the physical world to the spiritual one. By understanding them, we can decode the patterns that govern our existence, from birth to what we call death, which is really just a transition. The first of these laws, the principle of mentalism, says, "The all is mind, the universe is mental." This means that everything that exists is a manifestation of the universal mind. Our soul is an extension of this infinite mind, carrying memories, lessons, and energies from every life we've ever lived. When we realize that the mind creates reality, we see that our consciousness doesn't disappear with death. It just changes form. Then we have the principle of correspondence, which you've probably heard as above, so below. This principle shows that what happens in the spiritual world reflects in the physical one, and vice versa. In other words, what we experience here is a mirror of what our soul has already gone through on other planes and in other existences. That's why we sometimes face challenges that feel familiar, even if we can't quite remember where they come from. The principle of vibration teaches us that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. Every thought, emotion, and experience we have emits a frequency. After death, the soul continues to vibrate on different planes of existence, being drawn to realities that match its energetic frequency. That's why maintaining a high vibration in life is so important. It sets the stage for the soul's journey beyond this world. And we can't forget the principle of polarity. It says that everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its opposite. In the afterlife, just like in our current life, we are faced with light and shadow, growth and stagnation. Understanding this duality helps us see challenges not as punishments, but as opportunities for growth. The principle of rhythm shows us that everything flows out and in. Just like the tides rise and fall, our soul goes through cycles of life, death, and rebirth. Nothing is permanent, not even pain or fear. Understanding this rhythm helps us move more lightly through life's ups and downs and face death with less resistance. With the principle of cause and effect, we understand that every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. What we do, think, and feel now creates ripples that spread through time and space, affecting not only this life but the next ones as well. This is at the heart of what many call karma, the inevitable return of our actions. Finally, the principle of gender reveals that gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This creative energy doesn't disappear when we leave the physical body. In the spiritual realm, it continues to shape our journey, balancing forces and guiding us toward evolution. These laws aren't just distant philosophical concepts. They're at work all the time, influencing every aspect of your life and your soul here and now. But how do these laws manifest in practice, especially when we cross the boundary between life and death? And more importantly, how can we align with them to evolve spiritually? To understand that, we need to look at those who guide us on this invisible journey, the spiritual guides and beings of light who help us navigate the worlds beyond the physical. Have you ever felt at some point in your life that you weren't alone? Maybe it was a strong intuition, a vivid dream, or that unexplainable feeling that something or someone was protecting you. In Hermeticism, this presence isn't just a coincidence or a product of your imagination. These are spiritual guides and beings of light, conscious entities that accompany us not only in this life, but also during the transition to the beyond. But who are these guides? They aren't just disembodied spirits or ancestors. They are manifestations of the universal mind, reflections of our own higher consciousness. Through the principle of mentalism, everything is mind, and these beings are extensions of that infinite mind, acting as mentors on our spiritual journey. They might appear as ascended masters, angels, or even forms that resonate with our culture and personal beliefs. The important thing is to understand that they're here to help us remember who we really are. When the moment of transition comes, what many call death, these guides take on a crucial role. Through the principle of correspondence, they act as bridges between the physical and spiritual worlds. Just like we have teachers and mentors in the material world, in the spiritual realm we're also guided by these beings as we move through the different stages of the soul's journey. Have you heard of the bardos described in the Tibetan Book of the Dead? They are intermediate states the soul passes through after death, and our spiritual guides are there to help us navigate these unfamiliar territories. But here's the key. Connecting with these guides doesn't have to and shouldn't only happen after death. We can and should start this communication now, in the present. After all, preparing for the soul's journey starts while we're still alive. And this brings us to the principle of vibration. To tune into these beings of light, we need to align our own energy with theirs. It's like adjusting a radio frequency. If your mind and heart are vibrating with fear, anger, or confusion, you might miss their messages. But when you raise your vibration through meditation, gratitude, and conscious spiritual practice, the communication becomes crystal clear. Want a practical example? Hermetic meditation is a great way to start. Unlike traditional meditation, it focuses on visualizing the universal principles at work in your life. Imagine, for instance, the light of the universal mind surrounding you, guiding every thought and decision. Another powerful practice is using vibrational affirmations like, "I am open and receptive to the guidance of my spiritual guides." Over time, you'll start to notice subtle signs in your daily life, synchronicities, sudden insights, or that calm feeling that you're on the right path. But what happens when the soul can't align with these guides? What stops us from evolving spiritually after death? The answer lies in the karmic cycles we carry, shaped by the principle of cause and effect. These cycles can trap the soul in repetitive patterns of suffering and confusion, both in this life and the next. Now, let's explore how karma and the cycle of reincarnation influence not just our spiritual journey after death, but also the choices we make here and now. Have you ever felt like certain challenges in your life just don't make sense? Like you're paying for something you don't even remember doing? In Hermeticism, that feeling has a name and a clear explanation: karma. But unlike what many people think, karma isn't some kind of cosmic punishment. It's the pure expression of the principle of cause and effect, which tells us every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause. Every action we take, every thought we nurture, every intention we cultivate creates a wave of energy that reverberates through the universe. That energy doesn't just disappear when we leave this life. It accumulates, crossing time and space, shaping our journey in future lives. Think of karma as seeds you plant throughout your existence. Some bloom quickly, while others might take entire lifetimes to sprout. What you're harvesting now could be the result of something planted long ago, maybe in a life your conscious mind can't even remember. But what does this mean for the soul's journey after death? According to Hermeticism, karma doesn't just influence what we experience here. It also determines where our soul will be drawn after we leave the physical body, through the principle of correspondence, as above, so below. This means that the lessons we don't learn here will keep following us. If you carry unresolved resentments, fears, or guilt, these feelings act like magnets, pulling your soul toward experiences that reflect those exact vibrations. For example, imagine someone who, life after life, repeats patterns of dishonesty or selfishness. Even if that person doesn't immediately realize the consequences of those actions, karma is there, waiting for the right moment to balance the scales. And the most fascinating part is that this process isn't random. Through the principle of vibration, we attract situations, people, and even families that resonate with the energy we carry. This means the choice of where and with whom we're reborn isn't by chance. The soul is drawn to contexts that offer exactly the lessons it needs to evolve. But here's the good news. Karma isn't a fixed destiny. It's a constant opportunity for growth and transformation. You have the power to break negative karmic cycles right now, in the present. How? The first and most powerful tool is self-awareness. When you start observing your behavior patterns, your emotional reactions, and your limiting beliefs, you begin to identify which seeds you're planting for the future. Practicing forgiveness is also essential. Forgiveness isn't just an act of generosity toward others. It's a deep liberation for your own soul. When you forgive, whether it's yourself or someone who hurt you, you're literally cutting the cords that tie you to cycles of pain and repetition. In Hermeticism, this is seen as energetic transmutation. You take something dense and negative and transform it into light and learning. And how about a Hermetic practice to start clearing karma in your daily life? Try the karmic reprogramming exercise. Set aside a moment in your day to reflect on situations that challenged you. Ask yourself, what was the lesson here? How can I act differently next time? Write these reflections in a journal. Over time, you'll notice patterns emerging and, more importantly, you'll start to see real changes in how life responds to your choices. But karma isn't the only influence we carry. Beyond the actions we take in this life, our experiences from past lives continue to shape who we are today. And understanding that influence could be the key to unlocking your true potential. Now, let's explore how past lives directly impact your present and how you can use that knowledge to transform your reality. Have you ever wondered why certain fears, talents, or even unexplained affinities seem to be part of who you are, without any clear reason in this life? Maybe you have a fear of water but have never had a traumatic experience related to it. Or perhaps you have a natural ability to play an instrument you've never formally studied. These peculiarities might be clues left behind by your past lives. In Hermeticism, the principle of mentalism teaches us that the all is mind, the universe is mental. This means that the mind is the vehicle of our soul, and it isn't limited by time or space. Every life we live leaves a mark on our consciousness. Like chapters in a book the soul keeps writing. These memories don't disappear when we're reborn. They settle in our subconscious, influencing our behaviors, emotions, and even our physical health. Let's think of a practical example. Imagine someone who, in a past life, lived in a society where public speaking was dangerous, maybe due to fear of persecution or censorship. In this current life, They might experience extreme anxiety when speaking in front of others, without understanding why. This fear isn't irrational. It's an echo of a past experience that still vibrates in their subconscious mind. Through the principle of vibration, these energies remain in motion until they're recognized and transmuted. But how can we identify these influences from past lives? The principle of correspondence offers us a key. As above, so below. What we experience today is a direct reflection of the experiences our soul has accumulated. Repetitive patterns in your current life, whether in relationships, career, or health, can be clear signs of unresolved issues from other existences. If you notice that you're always attracting the same type of partner, facing the same financial challenges, or feeling a sadness with no apparent cause, it might be time to look beyond the present and explore your spiritual roots. One of the most powerful tools for accessing these memories is introspective meditation. Unlike common meditation, which focuses on relaxation, Hermetic meditation dives deep into your inner consciousness. You can start with simple questions during meditation. Where does this feeling come from? Or, what is my soul trying to show me? Over time, images, sensations, or even dreams may emerge, offering clues about your past lives. Another valuable practice is keeping a spiritual journal. Write down your experiences, recurring patterns, and emotions. Sometimes when you reread what you've written, connections start to appear in surprising ways. You might realize, for example, that every time you face a specific challenge, you feel an emotion that seems out of proportion to the current situation. That's a clear sign that something deeper is at play. And what do you do once you identify an influence from a past life? This is where the principle of polarity comes in. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its opposite. What seems like a blockage also holds the potential for growth. Past traumas and pains aren't definitive sentences. They're invitations for transformation. If you discover that a fear or blockage has roots in a previous life, you can use that awareness to transmute that energy. Energy transmutation practices, like guided visualizations or the use of crystals, can help release these memories. A simple exercise is to visualize yourself surrounded by golden light, bringing up the memory or emotion that needs healing, and then imagining that energy dissipating, transforming into light and wisdom. But remember, the goal isn't to get stuck in the past. The real power lies in recognizing these influences and using them as tools for your growth in the present. If this content is already helping you see your life through a new lens, how about leaving a like? It helps YouTube recognize that this is an important topic and share it with more people who, just like you, are seeking growth. And if you feel like you're finding answers here, subscribe to the channel to keep this journey going with me. Together, we can bring this transformation to so many more people. After all, understanding the impact of past lives is just the first step. What truly transforms your life is applying this wisdom in your day-to-day experiences. Now that you understand how your past lives shape your current reality, let's see how to apply the Hermetic laws in practice to evolve spiritually and live more consciously. Now that we've explored how karma and past lives shape your journey, an essential question arises: how do you apply all this knowledge in your daily life? Because at the end of the day, what's the point of understanding the mysteries of the soul and the universe if it doesn't transform how you live each moment? This is where Hermeticism stands out. It's not just a philosophy to contemplate, it's a practice to live by. The principle of mentalism reminds us that the all is mind. This means that the first step toward any transformation begins in your own mind. Your thoughts are the raw material of your reality. So, how about starting your day with a simple yet powerful practice? When you wake up, before even getting out of bed, take a few minutes to set the intention for your day. Visualize how you want to feel, what you wish to accomplish, and most importantly, how you want to respond to the challenges that arise. This simple practice of conscious visualization creates an energetic field that shapes your experiences throughout the day. But it doesn't stop there. The principle of vibration teaches us that everything is in constant motion, including our emotions. If you find yourself stuck in a cycle of negative thoughts, remember, you have the power to shift that vibration. Simple techniques like conscious breathing, listening to uplifting music, or even repeating positive mantras can help realign your energy. Something as simple as reciting, "I am light, I am peace," I Am Evolution, can have a profound impact on your emotional state. And when life's inevitable challenges appear, that's where the principle of rhythm comes into play. It reminds us that everything flows out and in. The ups and downs are a natural part of existence. Instead of resisting difficult moments, ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me? Every challenge is a disguised opportunity for growth. Imagine you're surfing the waves of life. Instead of fighting against the current, you learn to flow with it, using each movement to your advantage. Now let's talk about relationships. Who hasn't found themselves repeating the same patterns in friendships, romances, or at work? The principle of correspondence shows us that, as above, so below. What we see in others is often a reflection of what we carry within ourselves. When conflict arises, instead of pointing fingers, take a pause and ask, what is this situation showing me about myself? This constant practice of self-reflection not only improves your relationships, but also deepens your self-awareness. To integrate these practices into your routine, create a daily ritual. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as setting aside 10 minutes of your day to meditate on one of the Hermetic principles. Today, you might reflect on the principle of polarity, identifying where you're stuck in extremes and how you can find balance. Tomorrow, you could focus on cause and effect, observing how your actions are shaping your reality. Small, consistent practices have the power to profoundly transform your journey. And don't underestimate the power of daily choices. Through the principle of cause and effect, every small decision you make today is creating your spiritual future. How do you respond to criticism? How do you treat the people around you? How do you care for your thoughts? All of this matters. Imagine your life as a garden. Every thought, action, and intention is a seed you're planting. What kind of garden do you want to see bloom? Now that you know how to apply these principles in your daily life, it's time to reflect. What will you do with this knowledge? Are you ready to transform your spiritual journey and live in alignment with the universal laws? Today, you embarked on a journey that goes beyond what the eyes can see and what the material world can offer. We discovered that the soul isn't a lost passenger in time, but an eternal traveler, navigating cycles of learning and evolution. We saw how karma and past lives aren't burdens, but opportunities for growth. And most importantly, we learned that the Hermetic laws aren't just philosophical concepts. They're practical tools to transform your life, here and now. The soul is eternal, and the afterlife isn't an end, but a continuation of the journey of consciousness. Every thought, every action, every choice you make is a chance to align yourself with the universe and evolve spiritually. The knowledge you gain today is more than just information. It's an invitation to transformation. Now, the question is, what will you do with this wisdom? The power is in your hands. You can keep living on autopilot, repeating old patterns, or you can start applying these laws in your daily life, creating a more conscious, balanced life, aligned with your soul's greater purpose. If this message resonated with you in any way, if it brought clarity or awakened something within you, like this video, share it with someone who's also searching for answers, and subscribe to the channel to continue this journey with us. Together we can dive even deeper into the mysteries of the soul, life, and the universe. Remember, transformation starts now. The past may shape who you are, but the present defines who you will become. The future is in your hands. If this video resonated with you, leave a like. It shows we're on the right track and helps more people find this message. Now tell me in the comments, have you noticed any signs that your past lives are influencing your present? I'd love to hear about your experience and exchange ideas with you. And if you want to keep exploring these mysteries with me, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new content. Oh, and don't stop here. Check out the next video in the description and in the card above. It'll help you dive even deeper into the soul's journey. See you there.